The young man sits, watching. The girl in the black dress at the next table orders more coffee and takes off her dark sunglasses to read a column of small print in her morning newspaper. She seems to read quickly, her head lowering slightly as she reads each line. Finishing the article, she slowly raises her head and stares into space somewhere to the right of the young man's head. He observes her more closely. She is beautiful. Her skin is almost white, contrasting with her raven black hair. She has slanting blue eyes. Japanese. Her perfect features are further accentuated by the use of a little blue mascara, while her lips and fingernails are a very deep ruby red. Her cheekbones angle nicely. She uses no rouge. Her earrings are an inch long, silver with centres that match the colour of her dress, which itself contains a matching brooch positioned just above her left breast. To avoid the glare of the sun rising in the clear morning sky, she turns her head and suddenly notices the young man staring at her. She keeps her eyes fixed on him, which seems to unnerve him. He looks away and sucks in another lungful of smoke. She carries on looking at him. "Have you a spare cigarette, please?" Her voice is gentle. He looks again at her face and realizes she is asking him a question. He reaches slowly for his breast pocket, aware that his heart has begun pounding. "Sure, help yourself." He smiles awkwardly. "Oh, you are American." She sounds surprised. "Yes. I thought you were English." She accepts the light and sits back upright in her chair. They say nothing for some time, not looking at one another. The young man is anxious to make further acquaintance. "What brings you to London?" She remains silent for a further 10 seconds and then looks at him, tears beginning to swell in her eyes. She hopes he hasn't noticed and puts her sunglasses back on. I came here to forget." She remembers. She remembers Black August, dishonor, the rape of honor, unnatural elements manifesting themselves in two cities, two great cities crumbling to dust, a worthless death to a worthwhile society, a black death. Her mother was beautiful. She remembers this. She remembers everything, even though she was quite a young girl at the time. She used to go to church then. She has not prayed for 15 years. She loved her mother then. She has not been able to love her mother for 15 years. She loved Japan then. She has been away from Japan for 15 years. She has always hated Americans. They have taken away all she has ever loved. Her father, her mother, her uncle, her brother. The Americans. She's not naive enough to assume that all Americans are evil. Politics are evil, and Americans in politics are evil. Why do decent people allow evil into their lives? Why can't we live together, love together? She read about Spain in books during her last year at school. She was born in 1937. She remembers 1945. She remembers 1945 every day. Blazing heat, burning buildings, falling bodies, blood, shelter. Her mother crying, her mother dying. Strange colours, frightening dreams. Her 8th birthday, no food, no water. Headaches, uncertainty, pillage, disease, plague, fear. Incredible things, all horrible things. Death redefined. A loss of faith, hatred, surrender. Food, water, illness. Frightening dreams, frightening dreams. Outwardly perfect she lives, to remember.